Hi, I'm Dana Schindel, and today we're at the Costume Bank, a costume warehouse that does costume rentals for plays, parties, and parades. Inside are thousands and thousands of costumes, and somebody that's pretty special to me. Come on. We're here with Reen. Reen is an accomplished sewer, a retired home ec teacher, and the owner-operator of the Costume Bank. She's also my mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
Can you tell us about how you started sewing?
I started sewing because I became 5'10" in grade 8. And I had to survive when the old ladies' clothes that were available to people my height were not exactly good for a teenager. So I learned how to sew. By the time I was graduated from high school, I was making 90% of my clothing.
How did sewing turn into costuming?
Sewing turned into costuming in two ways. One, I was the high school sewing teacher. I've done numerous school plays. Then when my daughter became a competitive dancer, being a single parent's not a cheap thing to do, and neither is dancing. So I started sewing for the studios to augment the costs. Then when she grew up and started going into community theater, on the form there's this little line, is there anything else you can do to help the theater? My mom sews. And within 2 years I was costume mistress for Footlight Theater Company, where I stayed for 8 years.
When you retired from teaching, why did you decide to do a costume rental store?
Because I was having fun with costumes and I was too young. I'd finished teaching. I didn't want to stay home, so I did this. I love people. They have so many good stories, and my costumes have so many good stories to tell. They have been to so many good places and so many good parties.
Have your costumes been to more parties than you?
Yes. They go to more parties in a week than I go to in 6 years. My mummy wore some of these, my daughters wore some of these, lots of my actors wore some of these. Gallons and gallons and gallons of memories.
When somebody comes in to rent a costume, what advice do you give them when they're trying to choose the best costume for their party or their parade or their event?
Know what makes you feel good and be willing to take my ideas, directions. I'm an expert and I can give you 5 or 6 things that will fit you, and then you've got to say, okay, we do this, we do that. All my costumes are customized. There's very rare that there's a package and this is what you have to have. So I can take Mr. Gold's suit here, and he can be Elvis, he can be Herod, which is what he was made for. I put Daddy Warbucks pin on him and I send him to the races in the 1930s. Let us play and let us make it what you're going to feel fun in and what you want to be.
Wow, what a transformation.
Yep, from medieval times to the 1920s. We did it all.
Thanks for having us in today, Mom.
Anytime.
The Costume Bank is located in Surrey near the Patello Bridge. For more information, you can check out thecostumebank.com. They're also on Facebook and Twitter. For Local Connection, I'm Dana Schindel.